everyone. In previous lecture, we have discussed about the column theory. In that, we have discussed about the different types of columns, then end conditions of the columns, then Euler's theory, Rankine's theory, and then application of Euler's theory, limitations of Euler's theory. So there are two main theories, that is Euler's theory, Rankine's theory. Euler's theory is used for long columns only. When lambda is less than ET, Euler's theory is not applicable. To apply the Euler's theory, the lambda value, lambda means the slenderness ratio, it should be more than 80. So actually that is the limitation of Euler's theory, is that it is not used for short column when lambda is less than 80. And there is second theory, that is Rankine's theory, that can be used for short as well as long columns. Now today we will discuss the numericals on Euler's theory. So this is the formula for Euler's theory, means Euler's formula. To find out this P is called as the crippling load, buckling load, or Euler's load. All are same, and it is used only for long columns. This particular formula is not used for short columns. And formula is like this: P equal to, means Euler's load equal to pi square EI upon L square, where pi square and E are the constants. Pi square is constant, E is modulus of elasticity or Young's modulus, and I is the minimum moment of inertia. Okay, it is depends upon type of cross section. Minimum moment of inertia, Ixx or Iyy. Least value of Ixx or Iyy means among these two values, Ixx and Iyy, minimum of that value will be the I minimum. And L is the effective length of column, that is L square. L is the effective length of column based on end condition. Now already we have discussed about the effective length and end conditions. So it is the length between two points of zero bending moment, or it is the length between the zero curvature. Curvature means what? This particular length. This is the curved length between the surfaces. So this is called as the effective length. Next one, end conditions. When both ends are fixed, effective length L is equal to L by 2. One end is fixed, other is hinged. Effective length is L by root 2. Both ends are hinged. L is equal to L, means effective length is L itself. One end is fixed and other is free. At that time it is twice L. Okay. So this condition is very important. One end is fixed and other must be free. Then it will be twice L. And this is the formula called as Euler's formula. So this formula you have to use to solve the numericals. Now see the first problem. Determine the slenderness ratio of a circular column with 50 mm diameter and 6 meter length if both ends are fixed and both ends are hinged. There are two conditions given. So first of all, write down given things. Diameter of the bar 50 mm is given. Length of the column 6 meter is given. 6 meter means 6000 mm. Modulus of elasticity E is given as a 200 GPa. 200 GPa means 200 into 10 to power 3 MPa. And area of the, it is circular column. Diameter is given means circular column. So area will be pi by 4 d square. So we will get the area as 1962.5 mm square. And moment of inertia for circular column, it is same for Ixx and Iyy. Means for circular column, moment of inertia is same about both the axes. For circular column, hollow circular column, square section, moment of inertia is same. Ixx equal to Iyy, that is pi by 64 d raised to 4. This is the formula for moment of inertia. Now here d is 50 raised to 4, so put that value as a 50 and find out I. Then first condition we have to consider that both ends are fixed. When both ends are fixed, effective length L is equal to L by 2. That we have discussed in this particular formula. When both ends are fixed, effective length L is equal to L by 2. Okay. So this effective length is L by 2, that is total length is 6 meter. So it is half of 6 means 3 meter. 3 meter means 3000 mm. And what you have to calculate here? You have to calculate the slenderness ratio. Slenderness ratio means what? It is lambda. Le by K, effective length upon K means what? Radius of gyration. So K is radius of gyration calculated using formula under root of I by E. It is denoted by letter R or K. Both are same. Under root of I by E. I means moment of inertia that we have calculated here. Area is calculated here. You take ratio of that, you will get the value of K, that is 12.5. That is the value of K, radius of gyration. LE means effective length, that is 3000 here. 3000 by 12.5, you will get slenderness ratio as a 240. Okay. And second case, when both ends are hinged. When both ends are hinged. Hinged is also called as a pinned support. Okay. Pin end or hinged end both are same. Sometimes in the problem it is mentioned that both ends of the column are pinned. Pinned means it is hinged. When both ends are hinged, L effective or effective length L is equal to L itself. So it will be 6000 mm. Now calculate radius of gyration under root of I by A. So moment of inertia by area, you will get that lambda is 50. But whenever you will calculate slenderness ratio, it is effective length upon K. Effective length is 6000 by 12.5. So you will get lambda as a 480. Okay, and it is a unitless value. Slenderness ratio is unitless because it is the ratio of LE by K. Both are having same units. And now it is not asked in the problem, but I have just calculated as a interest Euler's crippling load. So to find out Euler's crippling load, you can use the formula pi square EI minimum upon L square. So here all terms are known. By putting the values, you will get the Euler's load as 16.79 Newton. See this second problem. A circular tubular section of brass with diameter 40 mm. Okay, tubular section. Tubular means what? It is a solid tubular section. Tubular means circular. Tubular means circular. Whose diameter is given as 40 mm. One end is fixed and other is hinged. When one end is fixed, other is hinged, the end condition effective length L is equal to L upon under root of 2. So this is the effective length. Determine the minimum length for which Euler's formula can be used. And E is given 100 GPa and proportional limit 150 MPa. Proportional limit means what? Here it is value of stress. It is a stress. And we are solving problem under Euler's condition. So we can say it is a Euler's stress 150 MPa. When stress is known, you can find out load P. Okay, because here diameter is given means area can be known. So using this Euler's formula, here stress is known, stress is equal to P by A. So here limiting stress is given or proportional stress is given, means sigma E will be equal to P upon E. So we have to calculate a P value. Okay, if this P is known, then you can calculate this length L, because here length L is missing. Minimum length हमें find out करना है. So from this you just find out P because stress is known. So put that sigma E into A. Sigma E, that is given as a 150 in the problem. So it is given as 150 in the problem. Okay. So by putting PC is equal to sigma into A, pi square E upon L is, L means effective length, L upon root 2. So here this if you square this, it will be L square by 2, because under root of 2 means it will be 2 after squaring. L square by 2, this 2 will be on numerator, and on denominator it will be L square. So putting area here unknown is only L. Okay, and by solving this we will get the value of L, and that is 1.147 meter. Okay, you write down all these things in your notebook, then you can check the calculations. Now see problem number 3. Calculate the compressive load on hollow cast iron column with one end is fixed and other end is hinged. The external diameter of the column is 150 mm and internal diameter is 100 mm. Length of the column is 10 meter and factor of safety is 5, and take E is 95 GPa. So given column is, it is a hollow circular column, because here external diameter is given, internal diameter is given. Write down both the things. It is hollow cast iron column of external diameter 150, internal diameter 100 mm. Length is given as 10 meter means 10,000 mm. E is 95 GPa means 95 into 10 to power 3 MPa, and factor of safety is 5. What you have to calculate here? calculate the compressive load. Okay, so to calculate compressive load, so first of all write down given things. Already we have written here over here. Now Ixx Iyy equal to I minimum. It is circular column, that's why Ixx Iyy both are same, and it is pi by 64 capital D raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4 because it is a hollow circular column. It is external diameter, it is internal diameter, so both are having power 4. So by solving this, we will get 19.94 into 10 to the power 6 mm raised to 4 as a moment of inertia. And end condition is given, one end is fixed and other is hinged. For that condition, here effective length L is equal to L upon under root of 2. So length is 10,000 by root 2. We will get the effective length 7071.06 mm. Now Euler's formula is pi square EI minimum upon L square. So pi square into put E value, put I minimum value, put LE here. By solving this, here you will get the value of PE. But it is a crippling load or buckling load. What you have to calculate? Compressive load. So to calculate the initial compressive load or axial load, so you have to here you have to multiply it with the factor of safety. Okay, so not multiply, here you have to divide it by factor of safety, because factor of safety is equal to crippling load by axial load. Okay, so here you have to calculate this compressive load. So crippling load by factor of safety is 5. So given load by factor of safety, here you will get the value of this compressive load, and that is 74.79 kilonewton. Now see the fourth numerical. Determine the crippling load for the hollow rectangular column of outer dimension 100 by 80 mm and thickness of 10 mm. The actual length of the column is 6 meter with both end fixed. So end condition is given, both end fixed. Sometimes end condition is not mentioned in the problem, whether it is hinged or fixed or one end is free, one end is fixed, like that. No condition is mentioned. At that time, what you assume? Assuming both ends hinged, in that case what happen? LE is equal to L itself. So you can assume that condition, that both ends of the column are hinged or pinned, both are same, then you can take LE is equal to L. Okay, but when you have to do this, whenever end condition of the column is not mentioned. Now in this column, in this problem, it is given that both ends are fixed, means effective length L is equal to L by 2. The modulus of elasticity is given 120 GPa, 120 into 10 to power 3 MPa. Okay, it is a hollow rectangular column. External outer dimensions are given 80 by 100 by 80, and thickness of wall is 10 mm. So this total width is 100, total depth is 80, and 10 mm is the wall width. Means small b will be the small capital B, capital D, small b. From this 100 you have to deduct this 10, this 10. Here we will obtain this small b. Okay, so it will be 80. And similarly, small depth will be from capital D. You have to deduct this 10, this 10. You will get the 60 mm as a small depth. So this depth will be 60 mm and this depth will be 80 mm. Okay. Now from initially you have to calculate the moment of inertia about x-axis and y-y axis. So it is a rectangular section, hollow rectangular. For hollow rectangular, we are using formula BD cube by 12. But it is a uh, for rectangular section we are using formula BD cube by 12. But here it is hollow rectangle. For hollow rectangle, you have to use the formula capital BD cube by 12 minus small BD cube by 12. Okay, means you have to deduct this middle part, which is not a part of column. So capital BD cube by 12 minus small BD cube by 12. So put capital B as 100, capital D as 80 cube minus this small b, capital D is here. Solving this, we will get moment of inertia about x-axis, that is 2.827 into 10 to power 6 mm raised to 4. Now similarly calculate moment of inertia about y-y axis. So about y-y axis, instead of BD cube, it will be DB cube. DB cube by 12 minus DB cube by 12. You just put capital B, capital D, small d here. You will get the moment of inertia about y-y axis. If you compare these two values, it is 4.10 10 to power 6. It is 2.8 10 to power 6. means minimum moment of inertia is 2.8, it is Ixx. So I minimum will be Ixx and that is 2.827. This must be used in the calculation because in Euler's formula we are using I minimum. So I minimum is Iyy. So 2.82 into 10 to power 6 mm raised to 4. Now I minimum is Ixx. Length is 6 meter. So both ends are fixed. So length will be half of that, that is 3 meter, 3000 mm. Now using Euler's formula, we can write formula P is equal to pi square E I minimum upon L square. So put all the values, modulus of elasticity, it is moment of inertia about x axis, it is L means effective length. Solving this, we will get first answer is in Newton and second answer will be in kilonewton dividing by 1000. So here about x axis means whenever column is loaded, about Ixx, about this Ixx, it will carry this much of load. If you are taking Iyy here instead of I minimum, I have taken Ixx. If you are taking Iyy here, you will get the load carrying capacity of the column, this P about y axis, about this axis. Okay, and both will be different because moment of inertia is different. So if you see the formula, here all these terms are same, only I may change. About xx, about yy, it is different. That's why load carrying capacity about both the axes are also different. Now see next problem. A steel rod 6 meter length and 72 mm diameter is used as a column which is fixed at one end and free at other end. Find the crippling load using Euler's formula. So here one steel rod is given of diameter 72, of length 6 meter, modulus of elasticity is given, and from steel rod means what, it is circular, rod means it is always circular. So diameter is mentioned here over here, so it is circular. So here it will be a moment of inertia will be pi by 64, capital D raised to 4 means 72 D raised to 4 here. You will get mi as 1.31 into 10 to power 6 mm raised to 4. Now one end is fixed and other is free. So if now see condition, one end is fixed and other is free. When there is a free end, effective length will be twice L. One end is fixed, other is free, effective length L is equal to twice L. So given length is 6 meter means it will be twice L means 12 meter. 12 meter means what? 12,000 mm. And then using Euler's formula, pi square E I minimum upon L square. So here you will get pi square E, value of E, I minimum, value of moment of inertia, this value, and L square means effective length square, this one. So we will get the crippling load about the of the rod, and it is in kilonewton, 18.055 kilonewton, and in Newton it is into 10 to power 3 Newton, like this. So this is the crippling load about the of the rod about Ixx and Iyy, because it is circular rod. It will be same about both the axes. Now see this last problem. So here, see this last problem. An aluminium tube of length 8 meter is used as a simply supported column with two end hinged. Two end hinged means what? Both the ends hinged, carrying 1.4 kilonewton axial load. If the outer diameter is 50 mm, find the inner diameter of the tube that would be provide factor of safety 2, E equal to 70 GPa. Now see this. So in this problem, diameter is given as 50 mm, length is given as 8 meter, factor of safety is given as 2 meter, modulus of elasticity is given, and axial load is mentioned. Axial load means not crippling load. To find out the Euler's load, here you must multiply it with the factor of safety. Okay, so factor of safety से उसको multiply करोगे तो आपको मिलेगा Euler's load P 1.4 into factor of safety is 2, and as it is hollow circular column, capital D is given as small d, you have to calculate. Okay, so what is given here? Outer diameter is 50 mm, find the inner diameter. Means it is hollow circular column, pi by 64, capital D raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4. So here pi by 64, capital D is 50 raised to 4 minus small d raised to 4. and length is 8000 mm as both ends are hinged. So L is equal to L itself. Now using Euler's formula, thank you very much.